With obesity rates tipping the scales at alarming numbers, who's the biggest loser now? Confronting a deadly epidemic next. Welcome to Listen Up. I'm Lorna Duick. We're the show that gets behind the headlines, looking for a Christian perspective on the issues that are shaping our lives. And today, we're looking at an issue that's shaping our waistlines. Over the last 20 years, we've been packing on the pounds. Obesity has doubled worldwide. Virtually every region of the world is adding 2 to 3 pounds per person each decade. And in this program, we'll tackle the obesity problem head on and ask, how did we get here? We'll hear from a fitness trainer to the stars who says North America is also facing a spiritual epidemic. Are they related? And we'll hear from a woman who lost 70 pounds and kept it off. But first, it's no secret we're starving for the answer to win the battle of the bulge. We sent our camera to capture some of the mania when Jillian Michaels, star of NBC's The Biggest Loser, came to Toronto.
She inspired me, and I look up to her as a person, and going from this to this, that's why I'm here. I want to thank her for being her and for influencing all these people and then the whole world and then more.
She's tough, and you need someone tough if you want to lose all the weight. If you don't have a tough person, you're not going to lose it.
She's just pushing you all the time, no matter what. I just think she's awesome. I'm trying not to cry.
There's so many temptations out there. Unlike people that smoke or people that drink, they can remove themselves from those temptations. They don't have to be in a bar. They don't have to be around people that smoke. But you have to eat to survive. And to go into a grocery store, that's all you are, is bombarded by junk food.
It's not just about weight loss. There's reasons behind it. And you need to get your life as a whole fixed, not just one problem at a time.
Well, we've heard the urgency, and our next guest says it's time for everyone to get involved. Weight loss is not a personal problem, says Canada's leading expert in the science of obesity. Dr. Arya Sharma says it takes families and communities and your doctor to get involved. Dr. Arya Sharma joins us from Ottawa. Dr. Sharma, what's going on when our culture is turning to reality TV programs for an answer for hope on weight loss?
Well, I think there's a lot of confusion when it comes to weight loss because people look at weight loss as being the cure for obesity, when of course it's not. Because we actually have to look at obesity as pretty much as a chronic disease or a chronic condition where you see relapses, where you see progression over time. And losing weight is just a temporary fix. Most people who lose weight put the weight back on, and there's good reasons why that happens. And so what you see happening in reality shows where you're really taking people and you're putting them to I would say, ridiculous program, trying to get those pounds off. That is not a solution for obesity. That's not a treatment for obesity. It doesn't fix anything. It's, I look at it as entertainment. I wonder about people who find that kind of stuff entertaining, but it's got nothing to do with obesity management, nothing to do with obesity treatment, and really just reinforces those stereotypes that already exist, that obese people are obese largely because they're lazy, they're and not very smart, make poor food choices, and essentially need some guy to come in and kick butt, and that takes care of it.
I think we should first begin to define obesity, because a lot of us don't understand the body mass index. Like, how would you define it?
Well, it's not so much about body mass index. I mean, when you try to look at the medical literature, the World Health Organization has a definition based on body mass index. But I asked a very practical question. At what point does the excess weight that you're carrying actually start affecting your life in terms of both health and well-being and your ability to function? And when you start seeing that impact, well, then that's the point when you start thinking about, is this something that one needs to actually look at and maybe change if that's possible, and maybe also try to understand why it's happening in the first place.
And you think food diary is more important than exercise?
Well, exercise is important because it has all kinds of health benefits. Exercise is good to prevent cancer. Cardiorespiratory fitness is important. It improves your metabolism, does all kinds of things. What it does not do, or I think the biggest misconception here, is that I can compensate for the excess calories that I'm eating or the excess calories stored in my body by just burning them off through exercise. So a lot of people who do exercise focus on, well, how many calories am I burning? And you can go into a gym and you can get onto a treadmill and you have the little calorie indicator there, and people say, you know, I got to burn 300, 400, 500 calories. That is not why exercise actually helps with weight management. Because you can exercise for 2 hours and then you can have one of those sports drinks, or you can just, you know, have a specialty coffee after your exercise, or maybe a bottle of beer, and all those calories are back again.
Okay, this is a very personal problem at every level, but we now have calls for government legislation on it. Why should the government get involved on a personal issue?
See, I don't think the government has to get involved on a personal issue. I think what the government has to get involved in is to, first of all, recognizing that there is an issue, which they have, which it seems almost like they haven't, because if obesity was a virus, if this was a virus infection that came out of nowhere and affected 16 million Canadians and was causing all kinds of problems, we would be throwing money at this problem like crazy. I mean, the most conservative estimate that I've seen, what obesity costs the Canadian economy every year, is anywhere in the range between 20 and 50 billion. So if this was a viral disease that certainly came out of nowhere, we would be throwing money at this. You would not believe it. We would be having special clinics set up. We would be having special screening programs set up. We would be having the healthcare system going crazy about it. None of that is happening. And here we've got the biggest health problem there actually is, not just in Canada, around the world.
You want us to break stereotypes on this issue of our weight. Tell me what that means.
Well, I think, you know, when we look at why it is that we are not putting the resources here, I think part of that is the stereotype. Most people believe that obesity is a result of people making poor choices, and it's a lifestyle thing, and it's a choice thing, and yeah, if they would only get off their butts, they could lose the weight, and those are the stereotypes that are out there. And of course, it's easy to lose weight because, hey, we've all done it, and we've watched reality TV, and we see these guys on there losing all the weight, so why can't these fat guys do it? That's what the public believes. And interesting, that's also what a lot of people believe who have excess weight, and they blame themselves for failing. I think one of the biggest problems with obesity is it's a condition where most people who have it blame themselves for having it. And so they don't even want to seek help, or they feel very embarrassed about seeking help or demanding help. I think what you need to change is you have to say that I personally, in my practice, have never met an obese person who has not lost weight in the past, right? They have tried it. They have tried over and over again. We've got a $5 billion weight loss industry out there. We have done research at the Canadian Obesity Network that shows that people with severe obesity are spending up to $1,000 a year on weight loss. But look at this as as you would for other conditions where you're a trained medical professional, you've gone to school, you've learned the treatments, and you make the diagnosis and you deliver the treatment. Well, people don't do that for obesity because the assumption is, well, you know what, this is your problem. Eat less, move more, and you'll be fine.
Okay, Dr. Sharma, thank you for sounding the alarm to get professional advice and help involved. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And up next, Tyler Perry and Mario Lopez are just a few of the stars who seek this fitness trainer's advice. We'll ask about his curious prayer, "In Jesus' name we train." That when we come back.